Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen the compere of our show, Don Lane, Kiss, an international star. It wasn't always like this for Don. Many, many years ago, Don Lane was working the clubs in Hawaii.
Is this our trip down memory road?
This is a trip down memory lane, yes, and this is going to be very, very similar to the radio segment I did for you a couple of months ago. Are you looking forward to it if you want to go somewhere?
You've got 17 and a half minutes.
In 1964...
By the way, the priest just died in Thornbird, so it's about this time.
In 1964 in Hawaii, Don Lane was working the clubs, working the traps, as they say, in the business, and an entrepreneur and producer called John Collins saw him perform, came back to Australia and said to Channel 9, "This boy is good." But then again, of course, John had made mistakes in the past.
He called him from Hawaii.
Right. He called Channel 9 in Sydney from Hawaii and said, "You've got to see this boy." And they said, "We can't fly over there. Get him to film something." And that's exactly what Don did. Now, Don had going for him then, even in those years, fantastic backing. His own orchestra, which you see in this very exclusive piece of film.
Hang on a minute, wait a minute, just a minute.
Yeah?
Is this the audition film?
This is the audition film.
I swear to you, I have never seen this piece of film.
And he is going to swear anyway when he sees it.
I did this in Hawaii, and I asked him for 13
If you've
years
got any friends who are watching Thornbirds, tell them to come over here to Channel 9, because they are going to see the best dramatic piece of film that has ever been made. Now, if you've read the book, now see the film. Here is Don with his fantastic backing group from Hawaii auditioning for 9 here in Australia. You have a look.
Now there's Don. She loves me, and to my amazement, I love it. Knowing that she loves me.
There's Don with his opening song. Of course, back in those years, he also was able to call at the very drop of a hat onto some of the wonderful material which came from his own mind.
Meet a young man. I use that word very loosely. No, nobody's sure anymore.
You see, ad-lib all over the
we would
place.
like to go over
and
here
on the show he did from Hawaii, he had the biggest international names to introduce the audience back here in Australia. And no expense was spared with the guests, nor with the sets in which they were introduced by Don.
J. Akuhead Papuli.
I heard you say you wanted a glass of water. Be my guest.
Oh, I love it. Look at this.
Listen, while you're drinking, let me tell you, you gave me a nice introduction.
What's in here?
Well?
It's very smooth.
As you can see, gripping television, ladies and gentlemen, here's Don with his early Elvis.
I was just a little bitty baby. My mama would rock me in my cradle instead of over.
A talent which Don very seldom shows here in Australia. He is a fantastic dancer. Want some proof?
Fellas, find her an empty lap, fellas. Dolly, you'll never go away again.
Watch carefully. Message back to Australia.
Coming down and everybody here for being so cooperative and so helpful. Aku, thank you very much. My boys in my band that have been with me for so long. John, thank you very much. And whoever's watching, I hope you like me. See you later.
They watched and they liked. In 1965, Don started his own television show here in Australia.
I don't believe you
found
that
piece of
film.
The rest is history. Don, on this trip down memory lane, a lot of people believe that I've
wonder how I
always
got the job after that
been
film.
your announcer. I haven't always been your announcer.
No, you haven't.
One of the first announcers for Don, if not the first, went on to be reasonably successful himself. This is from 1965.
For the last time in 1967, from Sydney, it's The Tonight Show starring Don Lane, with Jeff Harvey and The Tonight Show Orchestra, and I'm Mike Welch. But right now, here's the man to make the party swing. Here's Don!
And there is Don in the late 60s. Here's some film now I'd like to show, and this is on a very serious note. Let me just set this up. Jenny, who is Don's manager, friends, confidant, everything to...
Is this the stuff she found?
Yeah, Jenny Jobson. Jenny was going through some stuff at home and came across a box full of 8mm film. Now, if you go back to the mid-60s, a lot of us used to get 8mm cameras and take all sorts of shots and things, and then, of course, realise we had no projector or didn't bother to hire one or whatever. And I promise you, this is true. Don knows we have the film,
I
as
know
you'll
he's
realise
got it,
now.
but I say, we found
But
these
he has not
boxes and
seen
I've
it.
never seen them. I never looked at any of this stuff. I got
The great
no idea.
thing is, Don, that, of course, we can't show the whole of the film this evening because it does go for something like 2 hours or whatever. We've got some highlights here, and I think people will be interested in seeing some of the folks in the film. But we have got on videotape for you to take back to America all of that stuff that you shot all those years ago. I'd like you to watch very, very carefully and enjoy this experience with Don as he sees some people very, very important to him. This is going back once again to 1965, and this is stuff shot by Don himself.
Oh, my God, that's my mother and father.
Yep,
Oh,
that's Mike
jeez.
Cleary on the left, well-known sportsman, now politician.
He's the Minister for Tourism and Sport.
Now
He was
there is Dolly,
Oh, yeah.
and that is Don's dad.
He
Now
died,
who
he died in 68.
does Don take after? Have a look
Oh, my God.
at Mr. Isaacson.
I forgot I did all of this.
That's to Mike
She
Scarf.
said Mike Cleary.
They're missing the joke.
Mike is down. Yeah, I know, they heard it. They heard it.
This is interesting, Don, because up there you see a sign for a publication called ABC Radio Guide. Have a look at the prices. 6 a copy, 34 and 8 a year posted, and there you are on the cover.
Yeah.
And your mum and dad very proud of you, because there you are. That's in
Vaucluse.
Vaucluse.
This is my... Oh, that's my mother acting. Look out. You wouldn't want to know about this. And there's my father running it. Oh, my God. That's the house we lived in Vaucluse. Oh, 2 Charlie Chaplins.
What's your dad's name, Don?
Jack.
Have a
Oh,
look.
you know who
Look,
this is?
have a look.
Look at this. Jeff Harvey
Harvey.
without a beard. Oh, my God. And that's Linus and Schroeder, his 2 dogs.
Okay, they're the 60s, and now to the 70s, precisely 1977. Let me set this up. We had a special competition.
You were
on
right. This
behalf
is the radio segment. You did it.
yeah, I didn't produce this one, though. I can't take the blame. In 1977, we had a competition for TV Week in which we flew a girl over from America. And
Yes,
remember, there
that's
was
right,
a
yeah.
special prize that was being given. We had thousands upon thousands of entries, and Max Morrison, our stage manager,
this is
he had this magnificent idea of having a drop box, and one entry was going to flutter down, and we were going to grab it and say, and the winner is Charlie Smith from whatever.
This is an example of how you handle panic, right?
This is an example of Don Lane slightly losing his cool, Bert trying to save the situation, and Max
yeah.
not knowing what's happening at any stage of the game. 1977.
Watch it now, don't... Are you ready? Yep. 1. 1, 2, 3. Oh. What?
Hey, Don,
What?
pull it harder.
You always say that, you fool. Wait a minute. Ready?
Debbie. I should mention the segment was originally intended to go for 90
This
seconds.
is Max who set this up, folks. No, Debbie, don't pull it.
3 minutes later,
Don't pull it, Deb, whatever you do.
not an entry.
This is ridiculous. Over. Can we have a ladder, please?
Does this mean my number's cut?
No, Max, don't do that without the net under it. Hold it. Leave it alone, Max.
This is the start of concern between Max and Don.
Really, leave it alone. Leave it alone. I got a better idea.
It's a good thing we're taping this.
All right, hold it. Nobody move. Don't touch anything. Wheel it in.
Here we go.
Hang on. Come here. No, swings open the swing. Put it on this corner. Max, leave it alone, Max. Max.
Now we come to 5 minutes later. What Don is concerned about, if that box were to fall on somebody, it would kill them.
Just in case you've just tuned in. We're having fun on the Late Show. You might remember the Debbie Lesnar promotion we had. Well, we've got an event that won't open. Oh, you missed a tremendous time. It's just gone berserk. Don's furious. And Debbie's bewildered.
Go back to the film and watch tomorrow's papers. We'll let you know what happened.
No, wait a minute, Max. I don't want...
Score at the moment, Don Lane, Max Morrison, line ball. I think we'll go to a commercial break. We'll come back and we'll give you the latest score.
Come here.
And come straight back.
Give me the net, please.
Give you the net? Certainly not.
Thank you. That's unbelievable.
That also...
That's 7 minutes of the worst television you've ever seen in your life.
No, that is 7 minutes of live television for us, isn't it?
That's unbelievable. You really saved the day there. You did.
Ever heard of a guy called James Randi? James Randi is a gentleman. He defies people such as Doris Stokes to have the ability of speaking to the spirit world and also bending metal and the whole thing. Now, I think for those people who've just joined on, say, in the last, year or so, maybe newcomers to the country, they might not realise the style and the class of this man. Particularly when he gets into an area with an interviewee, perhaps he doesn't necessarily agree with his attitudes, but they never show. In 1980, this was so evident with Mr. James Randi.
Bit magician. You said he was a fake, and you said he didn't. I'm not defending you, Rigella. What I am defending is you. You come over here with this big reputation. You give us a lot of lip service about all the stuff that you're going to prove. You go against a lady like Doris Stokes who never harmed anybody in her whole life, and you call her a charlatan and a fake.
You know a great deal about it.
Yes, I do. You said that she was a liar on the radio. You called her a liar.
No.
And that woman wouldn't lie to anybody. And I don't know whether she's right or wrong, but she wouldn't lie to anybody. And we're going for a commercial break, and you can piss off. We'll be back with Diana Krall.
As you can see...